Yeah, thank you to Maysoon Wazwaz, and thank you for Allison Wyckoff and the SF Arts Commission and San Francisco Public Library. I'll say a little bit about what it was like to dive into the archives, and then I really want to introduce our panelists. Their bios are amazing, and you can find out more information online as well, but I'll introduce in a minute. So I guess I should say, I should introduce why ethnic studies, why the Third World Liberation Front. That's grabbed me, I think my own search for my family history and conducting oral history interviews with my dad and finding things that were missing and, trying to find out how my dad, who's a Chinese immigrant from Southeast Asia, from Malaysia, how he survived the Japanese occupation. And so I've been doing those interviews for a long time, and that really resonated with the movement of the Third World Liberation Front, of the struggle for an accessible education and an education that is relevant and urgent to our histories and our communities and our families. And I think that is also building coalition in a way that was really powerful. So I won't keep you too much longer. I think some of the things I was struck by in the archives were the way that, I think reading some of the position papers from the different student groups, and I think seeing the difference between the way that the strikers represented themselves and the way they articulated what they were looking for versus the way that the press or the administration represented the strikers. And so I think as I was searching through books and there were some journal entries there, reading the newspaper clippings, being a San Francisco State alumni, I think I realized, I'm like, oh wait, let me research the people who were part of this. And I realized that, I came across Jerry Bernardo and realized that he had been here and been active so recently. And I think I really wanted to reach out to people who were still alive and just really wanted to try to, I think, bridge that connection. I will say it is a little bit unusual for someone outside of ethnic studies to be hosting a panel or to be, hey, I'm a creative writer, I make films, I make collages, I make zines, and to approach, I think, folks who are in ethnic studies, because rightly so, ethnic studies was like a movement, or the Third World Liberation Front was like a movement for self-determination. So I think having someone come from outside can be a little strange, or can be a little like, who is this person, and where are they coming from? And I will say, it's grown a lot out of my own, just like 10-year history of researching my family history and creating art out of that, and wanting to speak to the activists. So let me introduce you to folks, because I want to turn it over shortly. I think they have a lot to say, so I don't want to talk too long. Thank you for bearing with me. And thank you all for wearing masks as well. By the way, COVID negative here, so. Okay. All right, so Lenore Chinn was born in San Francisco to a Chinese American father and Chinese immigrant mother. She was raised in San Francisco's Chinatown, and her K-12 education consisted of public and Catholic schooling. During her college years, she volunteered and worked to support immigrant students, teenage girls, and at-risk youth in San Francisco's Chinatown. And she was a participant in TWLF, going to jail during that time. She went on to become president of the Association of Chinese Teachers and forged alliances with ethnic minority educators. And she's also starred in Chan is Missing and Dim Sum. So, yeah, an actress among us. She received her EDD from the University of the Pacific, and she joined the Faculty of Asian American Studies at San Francisco State in 1980. She's also been an Associate Dean at San Francisco State, retired as Emeritus Faculty in 2017. And I want to introduce you to Dr. James Garrett. Dr. James Garrett has been involved in struggles for human rights and self-determination of African peoples and people of all humanity for more than 50 years. That's very impressive. As a member of SNCC and CORE, he was an early activist in the civil rights struggles of the 60s. He told me over phone that he's been a freedom rider since he was 16. A co-founder of the Modern Black Student Union Movement and Ethnic Studies program, he's taught history and Pan-African philosophy at Howard and Temple universities in the US, in Tanzania, and in Nigeria. Dr. Garrett has published numerous essays, speeches, and interviews, and he's presented at more than 100 scholarly conferences. He really is a globalist, like just looking at this biography. His work to promote solar and energy resources in Papua New Guinea, Cuba, and Barbados. And he regularly lectures and conducts workshops by Zoom and in person. Okay. You can read the full bio. There is another paragraph there. Dr. Ramona Tasco is a medical director focusing on young adult substance use and treatment of addiction. After a time at UCSF, she earned an MPA degree from University of San Francisco and a Master of Divinity degree from Berkeley's Graduate Theological Union. She's also put her unique mix of skills to work on behalf of communities around the world, leading medical missions to 10 different countries. Throughout her career, Dr. Tasco has unapologetically fought for equity in higher education. This includes as an undergraduate student playing a key role in the historic '68 student strike, and leading to the College of Ethnic Studies and the courage and integrity to stand up to gender discrimination despite the threat of retaliation during her surgery residency. As she says, she declared, quote, "not me," before there was a Me Too. And I want to introduce you to Raymond Tompkins. Raymond Tompkins' journey in environmental chemistry was shaped in his freshman year at San Francisco State. He was mentored by Dr. Brian Ramsey, head of chemistry, and his first project, a chemical analysis of cigarette smoke, involved scrutinizing 62 chemical compounds, and that began his significant contributions to the field. He's also been working for, I believe, over 30 years in Hunter's Point addressing environmental racism. I do want to read you a bit more, and then I'll have us kick off, because I do want to hear what the strikers have to say. During his junior year, he took on the role of chairman of the Black Student Union at San Francisco State and vice president of Associated Students. One of his most significant achievements during his term was establishing the first child care center in California State College System. And this center still operates today and includes a flexible pay scale to ensure affordability for low-income mothers and parents, a testament to his commitment to social issues. And he was pivotal in creating the first master's degree in Black Studies. This initiative, developed in collaboration with Ron Bentley, underscored his commitment to promoting academic diversity and inclusion. And I'll stop there. Can you give a very warm welcome to the original activist?